I honestly don't even know where to begin. I've been staring at the screen for almost an hour, trying to think of what to say. Every time I started writing, I deleted it. Every time I started recording, I stopped after a few seconds. Not because Brazil got knocked out. I've been through that before. I've been through 2018. I've been through 2022. I've been through Copa America disappointments. I know what heartbreak feels like. What hurts today is something else. Because even before the final whistle had finished, before people had even processed what happened, social media had already found someone to blame. Neymar. Again. And honestly, I'm tired. Not because people criticize him. Every footballer gets criticized. I'm tired because every single time Brazil lose, it's like the conversation is already decided before it even starts. It doesn't matter what happened during the game. It doesn't matter who made the mistakes. It doesn't matter what the coach did. It doesn't matter who missed the chances. Somehow, it always comes back to Neymar. And today, I just want to ask one question. Why? I watched every single minute of this game. Every single minute. So tell me, what exactly did Neymar do to deserve all that abuse? Did he concede the goals? No. Did he choose the starting 11? No. Did he decide not to start himself? No. So why is everyone taking a dig at him? Why is every post, every meme, every comment, every headline about Neymar? He came on. He immediately demanded the ball. He wanted the responsibility. He took the penalty. He scored. He kept trying. Was he perfect? No, nobody was. But if we are being honest with ourselves, he certainly wasn't Brazil's biggest problem. So why is he being treated like he was? Even Rio Ferdinand said Brazil looked more dangerous after Neymar came onto the pitch. That's not me saying it. That's one of the greatest defenders of this generation saying it. Felipe Melo questioned why Brazil's biggest player wasn't trusted from the first whistle. Roberto Carlos defended him too. People who have actually played football, people who understand what it means to carry a nation's expectations, didn't see the game the way social media did. That should make us stop and think. When Neymar entered, Brazil changed. The game changed. He wanted the ball in difficult areas. He tried to make things happen. He expected the responsibility. He accepted the responsibility. And honestly, that's something I've admired about him for years. Because taking responsibility also means taking the blame. And Neymar has taken more blame than almost any footballer I have ever seen. I started supporting Neymar in 2017. I was just a kid. I didn't start watching football because somebody told me to. I started watching because of him. Because football looked different when he had the ball. It wasn't robotic. It wasn't predictable. It was joyful. Every touch looked like he was having fun. Every dribble looked impossible. Every match made me excited. That's why this hurts so much. Because for almost 9 years, I have watched people reduce one of football's greatest entertainers to nothing but jokes and memes whenever Brazil lose. People love seeing Neymar. People love saying that Neymar wasted his career. Really? Look at what this man has played through. Look at the injuries. Look at the surgeries. Look at how many matches he has missed. Most players would never even come back to the same. He kept coming back again and again and again, and every single comeback came with more pressure, more expectations, more criticisms. Yet he still wore that Brazil shirt every time he could. People talk about 2014. I remember hearing that Brazil lost their best player before the semi-final. I remember hearing that Neymar was carried off the pitch. I remember people saying, please let him be okay. Then Brazil lost 7-1, one of the darkest nights in football history. And somehow, even though Neymar wasn't even on the pitch, people still attached that World Cup to his name. Then came 2018, fresh of a serious injury. People only remember the memes, the rolling, the jokes, but they forget everything else. They forget the chances he created. They forget the saves Courtois made. They forget that Belgium had one of the games of their lives. Brazil didn't lose because Neymar didn't try. Football just isn't that simple. And now we come to this 2022. This one still hurts because when Brazil needed somebody, Neymar produced. He scored one of the best goals of that entire tournament, one of the best goals we have seen in extra time. Brazil were minutes away. Minutes. One defensive mistake, and Croatia equalized. Penalty shootout, Brazil were out. And once again, people forgot everything except one name, Neymar. I've never understood football fans. When your favorite player wins, it's because the team played well. When Neymar loses, apparently it's only his fault. How does that even make sense? Football has 11 players. Football has coaches. Football has tactics. Football has moments. Football has luck. Yet somehow one man carries every failure. I'm not making this video to tell you Neymar is better than Messi or Ronaldo. I'm not making this video to tell you that he's actually better than both of them. That's not the point. The point is much simpler. This man deserves to stand alongside them as one of the defining players of this generation. Not because somebody gave him that title, but because he earned it. He's Brazil's all time leading goal scorer. He's got hundreds of career goals, hundreds of assists. He's got league titles everywhere. He's got a Champions League. He's won Brazil and Olympic gold. He's got individual awards that any footballer would love to have. And he's achieved all of these despite injuries that would have ended many careers, that have ended many careers. That's not failure, that's greatness. Maybe Neymar never will win a World Cup. Maybe that's simply football. Some of the greatest players in history have never lifted that trophy. Maybe Neymar will never win a Ballon d'Or, but some of the greatest players in history also haven't won the Ballon d'Or. It hurts. Of course, it hurts. But one trophy doesn't erase an entire career. One defeat doesn't erase 15 plus years of brilliance. One bad night doesn't erase millions of memories. And that's why I'm making this video. Not to change anyone's opinion, not to convince people suddenly to become Neymar fans, but just to ask something. Football fans seem to be losing more and more for every year. Fairness. Judge him when he plays badly. Absolutely. Criticize him when he deserves it. Of course. But don't make him the villain every single time Brazil lose. Because that's not football. That's scapegoating. Thank you, Ne. Thank you for making an 11-year-old kid fall in love with football. Thank you for every smile, every dribble, every goal, every assist, every comeback, every time you got knocked down and still came back wearing that yellow canary shirt. The World Cup may never have been yours, but you'll always be one of the reasons I love football. And no amount of abuse, no amount of memes, no amount of social media hate will ever change that.